Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Beliefs, my podcast show, and which is streamed on EWN Français. I'm very happy to be here again with you today. So this is my first English podcast, actually. So I'm very grateful to have Rose with me. So before we get started, I just want to get people a sense of what the podcast is all about, my essence, my world actually. And so here we go. I'm just going to take a few minutes to explain all of that. So this podcast is about soul playing. Join a cosmic and earthly team, connect with your inner player or artist, and utilize your co-creative power. Everyone wins by participating in my game. Learn to master the game of life or create your masterpiece through imagination and fun. Yeah, it could be fun. Join Danielle and my guest today as she talks about her powerful, pivotal moments in her life and what powerful moves did she make. The realization, what happened when they decided to get themselves out of the way, right? The why, the how, what changed in her life. And when she decided to trust the process, what first step did she take towards her soul's evolution? So I am Danielle, your host for today, aka Goddess of the North. I will be accompanying you during this game. First, I want to address to all the players that are here with us today. So hi for those that are here in live and those that will be listening after. You're part of our game today. I invite you to come play with us. Enter the safe zone. Feel the essence of the playfulness. Feel yourself merge into the universal playing field of infinite possibilities. Leave your old paradigms behind just a bit and enter this new era. Take a seat. Take a move forward, backwards. Feel your inner player and enjoy the experience. So here are the universal rule of the game of Beyond the Belief podcast. You are given carte blanche. So it's up to you to set your rules and choose how you will play or create. And that's what Rose will share with you today. So everyone is at the different level when there's the beginner, the intermediate, and at the end of the advanced. And you can choose to show up at a different stage of the game each time. You get to decide. It's up to you. You can transform or reinvent the game. You can skip a turn, roll a dice, or choose a card to move forward or backward. You can add color, different shades of color, and simply start over or create on a new blank canvas. So first step of this game, we call it the preparation. Usually it's the beginner level. At this stage, you double your chances of success by taking on the challenge. It is suggested that you try to connect with your essence during the process in order to discover the key to success and happiness. Tap into your essence, the power of your human consciousness, your collective spiritual awareness, and accept the help of your inner power. Step 2, usually we call it the action, intermediate level. At this point, you play by the rules, by your rules, and know that there is a purpose in every step you take. Every brush of the stroke you give, you are creating your own destiny. Stage 3, we call it the freedom, advanced level. At this stage, you see life as a colorful game or a beautiful tapestry. You begin to add fun to your challenges. Your inner player becomes the hero of your story, and you win the game by seeing the power you have always held in the beauty that has always been in your soul, inner artist. So it's with great pleasure that I present to you the star for July 1st of this game today, Rose Lucente, aka Shining Light. Welcome, Rose.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here today.
Thanks for coming and
Thank
playing
you,
with
Danielle.
us. Thanks to come play. So a little bit about Rose. So Rose here, the title for today that she chose was From Darkness into Light. So Rose had her awakening in her 50s, in her mid 50s, right? After living a life of illness, abuse, and depression. As a young child, okay, Rose had premonition. She already knew that. In her mid 50s, she was divinely guided to understand and embrace her gifts as a healer and a psychic. Her spirit guides showed her that she was sent to help others. And by going through so much, she had a better understanding on how to help them. They took her on a journey of a past life and taught her how to heal the trauma from the loss. Her depression was lifted and her life changed after that experience. So that is so intriguing for me. So my curious mind wants to learn, how did this all happen? So Rose has 30 years experience, over 30 years as a holistic health, and worked 2 years at a holistic cancer clinic in Canada with people from around the world. She's also a nutritional consultant practitioner, a master herbalist, and an energy healing, focusing on energy therapy and trauma releasing work, present, past, and genetic. Rose says that she is on a never-ending learning journey. Isn't that right? So, yes, thank you, Rose. I have a question that's just burning. I want to find out, and I'm sure other people are probably wondering this. So you mentioned that you started having premonitions when you were a child. What does it look like? What does it look like as a child to have premonition? Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, because when I was a child, I didn't understand what was going on, but I knew what would happen ahead of time. And I would have dreams that would tell me what would happen. And usually the dreams would happen 3 times in a row. And I thought, why would I have the same dream 3 times in a row? And after the third time, they always came true. I would live the fourth time live. I would see it live, or it would happen to me. So usually it were things that were close in my life that I would see. I remember ever since I was very little, and I remember as a teenager going to someone and saying, why is this happening? Why did I see this happen? It was with the death of someone very, very close to me, my uncle. And in my premonition, I saw a funeral home, I saw baseball, I saw a clock, the exact time, I saw a lot of details. And I woke up crying. There was literally tears running down my face, and it was very scary. And I thought I didn't know what was going on. So I told others, and they said, shh, don't say anything, don't say anything, that's not right. And so I kept my mouth shut about it. And within a couple of days, my uncle passed away playing baseball at exactly the time that was on the clock, exactly where, the exact funeral home, the exact hearse, everything that I saw came true. So that was just one of my premonitions, but that was the story of my life. And when I went to anyone, they would just shush me or say, don't say anything. People would think there's something wrong with you. And so I just kept I stifled it. I put it away.
Yeah. And you did that, like that, you're talking about what age? Like in your childhood? Like
it started in all my life, basically. But as I got older, I stifled it. I wouldn't look at it because I thought it was something wrong with it. It was something dark, something that, I didn't understand. Nobody else understood it.
Yeah, and it's scary when you hear your child talking about that, right? So for them, it was easier to say, okay, so we don't talk about that. That's okay. It's in your imagination, right? So let it go. So that's what happened probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned
Absolutely.
In your bio, it says that, okay, so you went through life having this gift that was not really a gift, so you push it aside, but you had a pretty rough life. When we saw in your bio, you're mentioning, you live a life of illness, abuse, and depression. So, wow. And in your mid 50s, that's when something happened. So can you share a little bit about your life? What happened?
So as you were saying there, it was just one thing after another all my life, and I couldn't understand why I was here. Why am I here to just suffer? Why am I here going through this? Why is my prayers not being answered? Why don't I know why this is happening? Why can't I change it? And so I at that time thought that I had nothing left to live for. And after in my mid 50s, it was after a second divorce. Um, I lost everything. I went to live with my mother because I had nothing. It was just at a point where I thought, I really don't have anything left. And so I thought, well, it's time to, why am I here? I don't want to be here. And I think then something kind of, um, I was guided. There was people stepped in from the other, not people, but spirits stepped in and they guided me. And something that I would never really touch because I thought there was something wrong with it. But I went back to who I was because all these years I've been stifling who I was. And because of that, I was not happy. And so I started to go back to my gifts. I had spent many years, in schooling and taking courses in education. I had a lot of education and helping others, but I wasn't doing anything really with it. And I didn't understand how I was supposed to help others. So something came to me, and I don't remember the exact thing, but something happened where um, I think someone contacted me, and I thought, okay, where am I supposed to go? And I kept hearing in my head, you're a shaman, you're a shaman. And I thought, who's saying this? Where is this coming from? And what is a shaman? What is that? So, of course, I had to start doing some research. It started me on researching, learning, going back to my gifts, connecting with the other side. And when I started doing that, brought me on journeys that were unbelievable on the other side. And I saw them cheering and celebrating, a great big celebration in heaven on the other side, because I was now awakening. I was opening my eyes, and they brought me to this place where they showed me how everybody was so happy that I finally opened my eyes and that I was able to accept who I am and my gifts.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, okay, there must be people, because I'm thinking about that, and some other people might think about that too. So how did they bring you there and show you? Like, how did this happen? Anyways, how does this happen? How can you explain that?
Well, now that my gifts are getting stronger and my abilities to journey are much stronger, and I can go right quickly. Back then, I had no clue. I know that in a past life, I was a shaman. I was a healer, a medicine woman for my tribe down in the Crow Nation, down by the Mississippi. So I was shown that life. I was shown who I was, and that I was a very powerful shaman and healer in that life. So my abilities don't come from here. They come from, before, and many lifetimes probably. So the abilities were just natural for me. And so when I opened my eyes and I was able to say, okay, guide me, they did. They took me through visions and showed me these things. A shaman can actually spiritually journey anywhere they want. They can go anywhere in the world or on the other side. And so they were teaching me who I really was and showing me who I really was.
So this happened because you allowed it? You decided that you believed it?
I was having a really hard time with it, but I knew I was ready for a change, that what was going on for me wasn't working. I was so depressed, not wanting to even go on and asking for help. So when I prayed for that help, when I asked for the help, I met my spirit guides. They showed me who they were. They told me their name. They took me on these journeys, and they showed me that who I really was and who I was in the past.
So
So that I could come in.
Yeah. No, sorry.
So I can connect with my soul self. So I knew who my soul was.
Yeah. And they were probably waiting for you to ask, right? We hear that a lot.
They were waiting for me.
Yeah.
It was my stubbornness and my, everyone else stifling me and telling me, no, there's something wrong with it. And because the people I was around, nobody had these gifts or understanding. So since then, I have sought out other people who had these gifts, who had these understandings, who understand me and encourage me to be who I am. So now I've filled my life with people who are like me, who are healers, who are spiritual guides, who, are shamans, different things. And my life has changed tremendously. I know who I am. I'm not saying that I don't have problems and I don't get depressed once in a while, but my life is so different. I have purpose. I know who I am and
Uh,
why I'm here.
yeah. So a lot of people, I hear that often. I don't know what my purpose is. And they keep going outside to look. Where's my purpose? Searching outside. When I mean outside, all over, instead of just taking the time to go within what you did and allowing to say, okay, I'm exploring this. I might not be comfortable with it right away, but I'm still allowing to explore. So that is like, okay, I'm going to pick up a dice here and I'm going to throw it, if I'm going back to the game and playing soul playing all together here, I'm going to take the dice, roll it and see. I could win, I could lose, I could step back, or you could decide, right? So you decided. Why? Because you needed to change. You had to change. The need to change, the desire to change was bigger than wanting to stay in that type of life. So for people,
Sometimes,
yeah, go ahead.
sometimes the universe pushes you. And if you're fighting it, you're definitely not going to be happy. And the universe had definitely been pushing me, and I was ignoring it and fighting against it, which caused me to be more unhappy. So as soon as I went with where the universe was bringing me, sometimes when you're very unhappy and the universe pushes you, go with it. Let the universe guide you, because if you don't, you're not in the right place.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because it's scary sometimes, because we look into each other people's eyes, their approval, and what we need to do is our own approval, right?
Right. I'm comfortable with who I am now. I wasn't then because those around me weren't. So those people who are not comfortable are not the ones that are close to me now.
Yeah. I wanted to take a few minutes because we do have some people online. So hi, everybody. I'm so happy that you're with us. And we have a comment here. That somebody was telling, he was diagnosed with HIV virus, and he's talking about his journey. So yeah, I can't read the whole thing but we'll get back to you. So thank you very much, Britta. We'll be back to you on all of that. And also we have Ghislaine, we have other people. So hello, and everybody that's going to be looking after. If you have any questions, you can always come back and put it in the comment. And yes, Rose and I will be looking at the comments and answering whatever, if you have any questions. So it's great to see you with us. Rose, I want to hear you talk about, you are focusing on energy therapy and trauma releasing work, present, past, and genetic. Can you give us an idea of what's that type of work? What do you do? How do you do it?
So I use my intuition, my spirit guides, and muscle testing to help me work with whoever it is. And I find that it's the most powerful work because, as you know, I got my degree in nutrition, herbology, all these physical things, which are very helpful. I can still use them, but I didn't find that they were enough to change people's lives or help their health. So again, I was guided to finding out and taking many different little courses and seeing what other people did and what worked the most. Okay, what changed me the most? Well, as I was telling you, my spirits guided me to this past life where I had lost someone who was my twin flame. And I went back to this past life. And because I had lost him, I had this depression of loss for many, many, I guess, lifetimes. And in this lifetime, it was bad. It wasn't the only thing causing my depression, but when they helped me to go back and see what happened and I was able to release that, then my depression lifted in a way that I've never had that deep depression again. So I wanted to learn more about that because at that point I didn't even believe in past lives. So when the spirits showed me that, I thought, what are they doing? What's going on here? Because this was all new to me. And so as I learned more about past lives, started reading about past lives. I started reading from Brian Weiss, who was a hypnotherapist at a university, and he started doing hypnosis, and it brought people into past lives, and he healed them that way. And Dolores Cannon, I don't know if anyone's familiar with her, she did the same thing. And as I'm reading their books and finding out more about them, it just really drew me that this is what I want to do. This is where I need to go because this is what's healing and helping people, no matter how sick they are. Even the energy work that I do and the other things, they're helpful afterwards. But until I remove the past life or the genetic or this life trauma, it doesn't allow them to heal. So, or they may heal for a little while and then go back again. So by removing the actual trauma that holds on to these sicknesses and illnesses and depression and whatever it is, by releasing that, then we can go into, using herbs or using energy work or nutrition, and the person can then start to move forward.
Yes, thanks. And can you give us an example of trauma? Because a lot of time people think trauma has to be something major, but there's very subtle trauma that we could consider small, but still affects the body, the mind, the spirit. Can you give us examples of different types of trauma that you could help, that helped you, but also has helped other people that you worked with or that you know in your environment?
Yeah, sometimes we think trauma are only big things, and there's some people who have some big things to release. Those need to go. For example, I've worked on somebody who has addiction problems and could not let go of this addiction, could not do anything with these addictions. Life was swirling, they were going downwards, and it was very painful because it was someone I knew, someone close to me, and thinking, someday I'm going to get a call because, from a hospital or the police or a morgue because they were spiraling that bad. So I took the person and said, listen, I want to do some work on you. So I did 3 sessions of energy healing. So when I do that, what happens is that I'm working with the aura and past life traumas, all kinds of things are pulled out of the body. So what I'm doing is actually pulling things out of the body. And I keep doing that. So I gave 3 sessions. Now, after the 3rd session, this person, was having a really difficult time. And after a little while, I thought, okay, what's going to happen? What's happening with this person? So all I know now is this person is working really hard to change their lives. They have they're getting a job, they're working hard on their, getting away from their serious drug addiction. And what the person said to me is, I don't know what you did, but it was my turning point. It made a shift in my life. I was able to move forward. I'm still having problems, I'm still dealing with things. Mind you, I haven't done any more energy work since then, because maybe we can move forward. But her whole life has changed. Yes, healing from addiction is not something that happens overnight. It's not something that changes everything overnight, but she's not using anymore. She's fighting it. She's changing her life. She's going to counseling. She's looking for, she's got a career. She's got a home. Like, she's moved forward from being practically on the streets to having a life that has a little bit of meaning. Yes, struggling. Yes, having difficulty, but really moving forward, which is one of my, more stronger ones. But also, you asked about little ones. I guess I didn't answer that one. Little traumas can be even, let's say you're a child and your mother has another child, and you feel, I'm not loved anymore. They love the baby. So now I feel like I'm not worthy much. Or little things like losing a parent, or not that it's a little thing, but losing a parent in divorce or losing a parent in death. As a child, it really leaves us in a place that a darkness. So a lot of this work is also doing inner child work, because I'm guided to go wherever the spirits lead me to go. So sometimes with everyone, it's so different. With some people, it's inner child work. With some people, I do a hypnosis. With some people, I do trauma, like going right and finding out what the trauma is, or going to a past life. It's just so different with everyone. And I found all kinds of things, and everyone's different. So to give you one example, it's kind of hard, but there's just so many things that I have found, and some just seem like they're not that much, but it could leave a big mark on you and change your life forever.
Exactly. And that's why we can't really quantify this is this type of trauma, because it all depends on how the person itself, herself, himself, perceives it and lives it, right? With the emotion attached to it and everything else. So thank you for explaining this to me and to us, actually. So hello again. Yes, nice to see you guys. And we're happy to have you with us, playing around in the field here, universal field. Rose, I want to ask you if you had, because you said this, you had it rough before, and it was only, there was a turning point only. Was it only in your mid 50s, or you had signs before?
I remember in my 20s, things happening that the spirits were trying to guide me.
Okay.
And the people in my life at that time were scared by the things I was doing. Again, I stifled it. I was told it was wrong. It was evil. There was, that I needed to stop this. So it was just listening to others. And that's the thing about um, finding ourselves. Sometimes we look to others to verify who we are and what we should be. There's nothing wrong with asking, but other people can't make that decision for us. If we listen to everyone else, we lose ourselves. We need to find ourselves by being who we really are, and not listening to others being scared of who we are, or afraid, or not liking us. If they don't like us or are afraid of who we are they the right people to be in our lives, or to be getting counsel from? Because sometimes it's close family members, we can't get away from them if it's our parents or whoever that is. But are they the right people to be listening to?
Yeah. So
The
that
people
brings
that
me,
we should be listening to is
yes.
those who guide us. Whoever you are, you be that person.
Yeah. Because that brings me to my next question that just popped up. It's like, you probably had to make some choices, to move forward and leave some people that you left behind to be who you really are. That must have been hard.
Yes, because I was involved in an organization who was telling me it was evil. So I had to leave a lot of people, everyone I knew, behind. And I sought out other people, like I said, who had my gifts, because I wanted to understand who they were. And I got to know that they were wonderful people. They were kind people. They were normal people. So I thought, well, there's nothing wrong with them. And I connected with them on such a level, especially one person that I'm very connected with, who I'm very close to now. We connected on such a level, and we help each other on a daily basis, because when I'm having a problem or something, she's psychic, intuitive. She can guide me, and vice versa. So we kind of keep close contact. And she's the most amazing person I know. So no, there's nothing dark or evil about having these gifts.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, because it's scary for some that could be listening and wondering, oh, geez, that is too much for me. I think I do, but I'm not sure. And that could inspire somebody today. Your message, your gift, your purpose. And I just want to add something. Sometimes we leave things behind and we think it as a negative thing, but sometimes it's just because we're in evolution, right? We're moving on, and it has nothing to do with the other person, or they're not bad, or when you start seeing this as, yeah, it's all part of the game, it's all part of, yeah, it's all part of us moving forward into our lives, into our own lives, right? So thank you for sharing this. If you had one last message to share with our viewers today, what would you like to say?
Don't be afraid to be who you are. Don't be afraid. And
Mm,
if you need guidance, go to someone who understands you, not who's going to stifle you in any way to be who you are.
so
I
to
know I do that with my grandchildren now. I tell them, you know what? Be who you are. I have a granddaughter that has my gifts, who's only she's just turning 8, and she comes to me and she says, "Grandma, I had this vision, or I've had this dream." Well, she has my gifts, and I don't stifle her. You know, I I commend her. I say, "That's wonderful. What do you think? What do
Mhm.
you think of that? What do you think it means?" So I encourage her to be who she is.
Mm. And that is so important also, right? Because sometimes they're trying to reach out as children, they don't know. They're making their rule books as they're going along until somebody says, no, 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 you can't do this. This is not allowed. So thank you so much. And I wanted to say there's a Karen that wanted to say, hi, ladies. I'm glad I have moved forward. Hi, Karen. Thank you so much.
Hi,
So
Karen.
if people want to learn more about you, what you do, how to work with you, what would be the best way to contact you?
Just call me.
Okay.
To call me because I'm always there to listen.
Okay.
Sometimes people just want to call and talk. That's fine. Sometimes people just want to know more about what and how I do. That's fine. And there's never any, commitment. Just if you want to talk and find out more, I'm there. And if you
So
want to move forward with more, because my purpose in life is to help those who want to be helped and who I can help, not anyone else.
Hmm. So they can, right under the video, there's going to be a link to your Facebook page and also your website. So your number, they can find your number there, right?
Right.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. That was fun. It was nice to have you come and play around with us today. And yeah, the way you explained your life, even though it was not easy, there was just this softness to it. There was just this, it can be done. Do not lose hope. It happened for you in your mid 50s. Never lose hope. Reach out. Like you were saying, some people reach out just to talk. Just reach out to somebody. So thank you very much. And thank you for all the viewers that dropped in live or either will be listening after. It's our pleasure to hopefully inspire you and open up your mind a bit. This is all about expanding the mind and having imagination and fun and helping each other out, soul playing. We're all here to help each other out. So you have a very good day. Take care. See you next time.
I know.